Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jackson.
And today we're going to be going over the Dallas Cowboys free agency frenzy. We all love talking about Dallas. Look, here's the thing. Dallas right now is sitting at about $18 million in cap space. The question is, what moves are they going to make this team get there? Mike McCarthy, he's been there now for a while, for a whole year. We'll see if he can finally get the boat kind of turned around and start going. Dak currently isn't under contract. Whether or not they decide to pay him with franchise tagging him or go out with a contract, who knows? But there's been reports saying that he wants money, like serious money, not no
Mahomes money.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes money, which is kind of scary to me. So again, let's look right at this. We got Dak Prescott asking for big time money. Probably going to have to be franchise tagged this year and then look long-term after that. With that being stated, the $18 million, how do they want to use this? Well, we'll break down some of the free agency that we think that it might be able to bring in. We'll talk about the all-season moves that we expect them to make, and then we'll also talk about the draft. So let's hop right into it. Mike, what do you think that this team might do?
Well, the first thing I want to start with is Mike McCarthy. I remember when we back in the old channel, we were talking about I did not like the hire because I thought Mike McCarthy's time was up with Green Bay when the team was regressing and he had one of the best quarterbacks in football. I still don't like Mike McCarthy. I think they might do all right. I might be wrong with Dak Prescott. They probably win a couple more games and win a division. But I am not a huge fan of Mike McCarthy. I'm just going to come out and be honest. Now with this team's a mess more than you think it is. On the offensive side of the ball, they're stacked, but they don't have a quarterback. What are you going to do? You can't afford to pay Dak Patrick Mahomes money, and he's not worth Patrick Mahomes money. So say you go out and you risk franchise tagging him. Why would he play? Well, like he could have had a career-ending injury. So I think they're going to have to tag. They're going to either need to sign him to a deal, agree to a deal, which I don't know how they're going to do financially, unless they completely backload the contract, or they're going to need to tag and trade him to somebody that is going to give him a deal, or just let him walk in free agency. But I don't think the Cowboys are going to allow him to walk in free agency. So I don't know what they're going to do. And then to look on the defensive side of the ball, they're not very sound there. They need cornerbacks. The linebacking core underachieved. DeMarcus Lawrence fell off. So, I mean, this team is kind of in shambles, in my opinion. Like, they have the talent, but they're not performing. Zeke had an off year. The offensive line ain't what it was 4 years ago. So I think the Cowboys, they need a wake-up call. They need to make their bed and sleep in it. They got to make a decision here, and they got to make a decision here soon.
Yeah, and let me just hop in real fast. Usually I don't jump in where Jackson's supposed to go, but let me just add this. Me and Mike made a case for why they should have paid Dak Prescott last year. I mean, I think I still got that clip. Maybe I'll put that at the end of this video showing that me and Mike both said Dak Prescott deserved a contract last year.
You did.
The thing is this. Now you are in a really tough predicament. I mean, let's look. Number one thing, you guys had a pretty good draft last year. You had Trayvon Diggs, who I said that this guy is a playmaker. He's going to get interceptions, but that's all I didn't think that he had the coverage skills that he needed. I think he proved me wrong. He did pretty good last year. He definitely outperformed my expectation. Go ahead.
He got beat up early on. The second half of the season looked a lot better.
Yeah. The second guy I really like on this team is Neville Gallimore, defensive tackle. He was ranked really one of my top defensive tackles from out of last year's draft. I think that he's a stud. I think that he's going to be really solid for you guys this upcoming season. And last but not least, Tyler Biadasz, your center. I was a big fan of him too. One of my top interior offensive linemen, in last year's draft. So you guys had a decent draft. The issue is your quarterback position. I just don't know Mike said it best. Here's what you got. I don't think you have the money to sign Dak Prescott, or I don't know if you guys personally as an organization want to take the risk of paying Dak Prescott long-term now. I mean, that might turn out to be a terrible, 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 terrible idea. Then you also get the other side. Why would Dak play for a franchise tag? He just wouldn't want to play. So there's this fine little line here that you can't cross either way, that it's really a terrible situation to be in. One guy doesn't want to play on a franchise tag. The other side probably doesn't want to sign him long-term because they don't know if they're worth a long-term deal. And the issue is that where do you go? What do you do if you're Mike McCarthy? Look, I think Mike McCarthy's a good coach, but it's kind of concerning with all the talent they had last year that they weren't able to put it to use. I'm going to give him a break. I always say that a system needs a few years to implement. I mean, by next year, they should really start to look good with the talent they have on this roster. It's just that I am shocked that they have not reached a long-term deal with Dak last year, and now they're in a really big predicament. Coming off of a bad ankle injury, do you want to commit long-term, or do you franchise tag him? And if you franchise tag him, is Dak willing to play under the franchise tag? That's the question. And the other thing is, are you willing to pay this huge contract for a guy like Dak? I honestly think Dak is an above-average quarterback. I don't think that he's a Pat Mahomes. I don't think he's a top 3. Teams don't win. It is proven that a top 3 quarterback has never won a Super Bowl being paid top 3 money. Dak Prescott, if he gets paid top 3 money, you can kiss this damn organization goodbye. Dallas will not win a damn Super Bowl in a very, very long time. I mean, it just won't happen. So you got to be real with yourself. That's a great leader. That's an above-average quarterback. I put him on the same caliber, in my opinion. You guys might disagree. As a Derek Carr, I know a lot of you guys disagree. He has great weapons. He's able to work well with his weapons. But I would not be willing to pay this man $45 to $50 million to be my starting quarterback. I'm sorry, you're nuts. Last year, I would have signed him for a little bit cheaper than this. But you don't pay him $45 to $50 million. You're stupid. You're crazy. This organization will hit the shamble. They'll hit the shitter for years to come. This is what they'll turn into if they sign him to a long-term deal. They cannot do that.
I'll tell you what the problem is right now. They can't sign him to a long-term deal worth a ton of money because they paid everybody around him. Ezekiel Elliott got a huge deal. I remember we talked about this in the other video. Amari Cooper got a huge deal. They dumped money at DeMarcus Lawrence. So Dak Prescott is sitting there like, I'm the quarterback of this team. When am I going to get mine? I don't think they can afford to give it to him. I don't know how much – there's been nothing came out and said this. I don't know how good relationship is between Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And here's another thing I want to point out real fast before we actually go down to Jackson for the first time in this video. But real fast, maybe we should just have him shut up and be quiet. But anyway,
right.
We look at Dallas, okay? Dak Prescott, the whole situation with Dak, they are in a predicament. Like you don't want to pay him a lot of money. They paid, and this is what you and me said in that video. You're 100% right. We said, why are you paying Zeke, Cooper, Dexter Lawrence, and you're not paying your franchise quarterback? He was the franchise quarterback. You can get another weapon. I mean, for crying out loud, they had Michael Gallup. They had, why am I drawing a blank?
They drafted CeeDee. They drafted
CeeDee Lamb. And then you pay Amari Cooper. I just think that you guys are – Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb are number 1 wide receivers. Why do you need Amari Cooper to pay him the top big money too, along with Dak and I mean, on top of Zeke and everybody else? Dexter Lawrence is just crazy to me. So they dug themselves in this hole. Now they're going to have to lay in it. Guys, we want to know what your guys' opinion is. But Jackson, what do you think? What do you think is going on?
I mean, Dak Prescott.
All right, that's enough. All right, that's all. We'll see you guys. Go ahead.
Dak Prescott is out of his damn mind if he thinks he needs to get 40-something, $50 million a year. I mean, this team has got talent all over the place. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. I don't know what happened to Ezekiel Elliott and Dewar stumbling like 8 times a day. His offensive line with the shitter. You look at the defense. I like Leighton Van Rush. I like Jalen Smith. They all underperformed, but I think the talent's there. DeMarcus Lawrence, I don't know what happened to him. I like Trevon Diggs. I think it was a solid pick for you guys. I mean, with this team, if Jerry Jones writes that paycheck for Dak Prescott, this team's done. They hit the shitter. They're done. Pack it in. Go to the Canadian Football League or something. I don't know what you do. I think the best move right now is you need a franchise tag. I mean, what is it? You got like 10 days till free agency. You got to figure this out quick. Franchise tag Dak Prescott, or maybe you go come to terms with a short-term deal with Dak Prescott. I don't know what you do. Or you tag and trade him. Like you said earlier, there's teams out there that would gladly take Dak Prescott. They give him some money. But Dak just needs to come to his senses and realize that he's not worth Pat Mahomes' money. He's about middle of the pack, above average, like Nick said. I mean, I think Dak Prescott, I think he's this team's quarterback. He's their franchise guy. But if he thinks he needs to get paid $50 million, I would move on.
See, I don't even know if he thinks that. I seriously think, and no one is saying this because it's America's team. You don't ever want anything to go wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott is asking for that kind of money because he doesn't want to be there. I think that he wants to go someplace else, and I don't blame him. With the way
I don't blame him either.
They're paying a running back the money they paid Zeke. They're paying him. Amari Cooper's deal was crazy at the time, and Dak is just sitting there like, "When's mine? I'm the guy making plays. Or I'm throwing the ball to these guys. When's mine?
No,
I think Dak Prescott is unhappy with the Dallas Cowboys, and it would not surprise me if Dak Prescott is moved.
No, I agree with you. And again, Dallas, I mean, I think the Dallas fans can honestly agree. I think that those of you who are watching through this point of the video understand that this is honestly a real possibility. I mean, Dallas has really screwed. I'm going to be honest. They have screwed Dak Prescott. They paid everyone around him. Now he gets hurt. You know what happens when someone gets hurt on the final year of the deal? They usually don't get brought back. Now we're in a situation where, like Jackson said, maybe a short-term deal or maybe another franchise tag. Oh, you got to prove it again, Dak. Dak, you got to prove it again. Why does he have to prove it again? He proved it time and time again. Everyone in the locker room loves Dak Prescott because he's a hard worker. He's a top 10 quarterback, in my opinion. But the thing is this. Are you willing to pay him top 3 quarterback money? I don't. He's not worth that money. So Dallas also needs to come to their senses and be like, listen, there's no way we do this. It's tough. There is controversy inside that organization right now. You're right. You hit the nail on the head. You don't hear it with the media. You don't hear it with but there's definitely controversy because there's no way Dak Prescott is asking for $50 million. There's just no way. He's not Pat Mahomes. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not Watson. He's not Pat Mahomes. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Aaron Rodgers. For crying out loud, he's like a Derek Carr. He's like a Baker Mayfield. That's who Dak Prescott is like. And they're good. They're above average. They're franchise quarterbacks, but they're not top 3 paid. And if Dak is willing to take a $35 million deal, a $38 million deal, a $32 million deal, this organization can be great for years to come. But is he willing to do that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what he's willing to do. So that's all from us. I mean, this team can make a push. Go ahead.
Here's a fun little thing. I'm just reading something now. The New England Patriots have become favorites to sign Dak Prescott.
Wow.
If he hits free agency.
All right.
I don't know. I mean,
I think a team like if Dak hits free agency is going to be crazy. A team like Denver is going to be crazy involved.
I know a team I really think. Dallas, I hate to say it, Washington.
That'd be crazy.
Look, if you're Dak Prescott and Dak Prescott, they bring back their offensive line, right? They bring back their offensive line pieces. And they still got the money to bring in Dak. He had Terry McLaurin. He has Antonio Gibson. He has an amazing defense, the best defense he's ever had. That team's Super Bowl bound. And that's a big F-U to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dallas,
Yep.
Listen, I'm all right with you guys, you fans. You never caused me a problem, but it's the truth.
The Giants, how was his relationship with Jason Garrett?
Yeah.
The Giants could be another.
Maybe. I mean, that would be really interesting.
What happens? I can't wait to see what happens with this.
Yep.
So we'll say, Dallas, we wish you the best. We'll see what happens. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are.
Built better.
Guys, real fast, actually, I want to bring this in here real fast. After this series, we got our scouting analysis, our mock drafts, a live draft show, our draft grades, our coaching grades, and then more debating. So be sure to stay tuned and leave a like, subscribe. All right, Mike, we are
Built better.
See you guys soon. Peace.
Be 100% honest, this team's in great shape.
No, they are.
Great shape to make a run. Except they're not getting their deal done with Dak, which I think he deserves the money. I think they should pay him.
Yep.
But it's something they're dragging their feet on for some reason. They're going to lose Byron Jones in free agency most likely.
Yep.
I think that's already a fact.
Yep.
I don't know about Amari Cooper, though.
There's so many pieces. Let me put it this way. The Dallas Cowboys roster on paper might be one of the strongest rosters in the league. This free agency, they're not bringing much in. They're going to be losing some.
Yeah, most likely.
Which stinks because